Guys, you want to know how to make these earrings? These are sublimated earrings that I actually designed in Microsoft PowerPoint, and then I use my Epson Workforce 7720 and my heat press to bring them together. So they are sublimated on both the front and also on the back. All right, so stay tuned and I will show you how to do this. Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how I am going to design a pair of earrings for sublimation. So this is the earring blank. I took a picture of it and just uploaded it to my computer. So now I'm going to go into PowerPoint and play around with it. All right, so here's the earring here that I uploaded to my computer, brought it into PowerPoint, and then I went in and I removed that black background from it. So that's why it looked a little bit jagged here, but it's fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert a shape. And I think the shape that I'm going to take, I think I'm going to go back with this one. So I'm just going to insert this shape and try to get it as close to the shape that's on my screen. So what I'm going to do is go to Edit Shape and Edit Points. And that's going to allow me to move these little points here over to where I need them to be. And basically all I'm doing is moving these over so I can get as close to that earring shape as possible. And I can click and that will add a point if I'm missing a point. So it's not going to be perfect, but I just want to kind of get that shape. I'm going to go over to my format shape, and I'm going to put a little transparent on that blue so I can kind of see my lines back there. There we go. And then I can move these over to ensure that I'm getting closer, or to let me know when I'm getting closer. So I'm going to add a point here just by clicking. I'm going to add a point. So I don't have my glasses on, so y'all just bear with me. Let's see if I can move this one over. Okay, that's the problem. There we go. And then I'm going to add another point here. Okay. And then I'm going to shift that one in, add another point here. All right, I think that's kind of close enough. That's good enough. Let me see what it looks like over here. Oh, that looks good. Close enough. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shape and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to bring it down here by itself. And the reason I say that it doesn't have to be perfect is because I'm just trying to get a basic shape of that earring. And I found this image on Google because I want something colorful so I can make sure all of my colors are on point for my sublimation. And I just made this picture as wide as I needed it to be, add a couple of little lines on the side of it. And so I grouped it all together, and now I'm just going to right click and copy, and I'm going to come back down to my earring shape, and I'm going to click on it, and over in the format shape on the right hand side here I'm going to say picture or texture fill, and there's the earring there. of the shape that I was just working with. So I kind of like that, but then I kind of don't. So let me see if I shift this just a little bit, what I get. So I'm just going over to offset the sizing a little bit. But I don't want to move the shape too much that I get white space, because I don't want that white space. All right, let's see. It's kind of cute. Let me do one more thing. I'm going to go back and let's see. I'm going to do new shape, and I'm going to take her and copy and paste again, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to shift. Okay, computer's acting crazy. Give it a second here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to stretch it just a little bit. And then I'm going to copy it again. Go back to the earring and place her in. And I went down to the bottom of the format shape here and select rotate with shape, and that places her straight. So I like that. So let's see. That's what the earring will look like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. And I'm just going to put it in my drawing folder. And there we go. And save. Then I'm going to go inside Cricut Design Space. And I'm going to upload that picture. Okay, so there it is. And I'm going to save it. And insert. Now the reason I bring it into Cricut Design Space is I'm going to show you here. When I ordered this from Amazon, they give you the sizing, and I highly recommend that you utilize that information for the sizing. So these are the earring blanks that I'm using. It came with 6 pair with the hardware already attached as a complete piece of hardware. So all I have to do is just kind of push it open and then clamp it into the circle. So that's why I love ordering these earrings or earring blanks from Yin Fang. That's who sold these on Amazon. That's the seller. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the earring so I can get the details. So it tells you here that these sublimation blanks, they tell you what they're made of. It gives you the temperature. It tells you to sub them at 356, between 356 to 374 for 70 seconds. And they're suitable for your heat press transfer. And then they give you the sizing, and that's the main thing that you want here. So these earrings are 6.5 centimeters width and 4 centimeters thick. Okay, so that's how large they are. So let's see, sublimation earring blank. So this one, the last one I got, it gave me inches as well. This one is not giving me inches, only centimeters. So let's go back to Cricut Design Space. And I'm gonna look here. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna measure them out for myself. So they're right at 2.5 inches long and about 1.5 width. So that's what I measured. I measured them at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it just a tad bit bigger, and that way I have some excess to where I can ensure that I get all of her and then just a little bit of this around here. So I made it a little bit, just a little bit bigger than what it actually is. And I'm going to go ahead and duplicate so that I have two. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Make It. And then I'm going to go ahead and load my paper here. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to go ahead and load my paper and get everything set up, and then I'll bring in the visuals for you. Be right back. All right, guys, I want to show you here that I actually did 4 of the earrings, and that's because I'm going to do double-sided. Okay, so it's going to be this image on both sides. So I used the A-sub paper. You guys can see that. And if you watched a couple of my previous videos, I've pointed that out, but I also put it in the descriptions, in the description down below. But this is the image that I just showed you how I designed in Microsoft PowerPoint. And I'm not going to put this on my Cricut cutting machine. You won't get the true colors until you actually put the heat onto it. So I'm just going to cut these out right quick, and we'll finish the process together. So you can see how I sublimate the earrings from beginning to end. All right, one earring cut out. And I have to crochet a doll today, so I wanted to come out and put a video out here before I get super busy with putting this doll together. So I crochet dolls for a nonprofit organization called Feel Better Friends. So we make dolls in the child's likeness. So whatever illness the kid may be going through, we try to incorporate certain characteristics of the child, like their eye color, their hair color. If the child has, you know, let's say they're in a wheelchair, we crochet the wheelchair. We put the wheelchair together. Basically, it's in the child's likeness. So that's what we do. And I've been doing it now, I want to say 5 or 6 years that I've been crocheting dolls for this nonprofit organization, and I absolutely love it. We do not charge for a doll to be created because it's a nonprofit organization. So we don't charge the person to have a doll crafted. And I absolutely love it. All right, so now I have all 4 of my earrings designed out, or not earrings, but designs for my pair of earrings where I'm going to be subbing on the front and the back. And one of the things I want to tell you guys is that, and I'll post it in the description, but these blanks I got off of Amazon. It comes 6 pair, and I think they were like $13.99. It does have a plastic coating on the front and the back, so you do have to remove the plastic coating before you actually sub onto these. So I always use my weeding tool. I saw a lady on one of the YouTube videos, and she used her heat tape to kind of remove the plastic coating, but that didn't work for me, so I haven't tried it again. But let's see if you can see that. You can kind of see there is a little piece of plastic that I started to lift up here. And you're just going to grab it. Here we go. You're just going to grab that plastic. You guys can see that. And it pulls off really easy. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I pull them off both sides, because sometimes it's hard to tell if you've removed it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that right quick to ensure that I get complete coverage and don't mess up anything. Now, again, they recommend that I sublimate these between, I think it was like 350 something to 374 for 70 seconds. So I'm probably going to do like 374 for 70 seconds. I tried my heat press, and I told you guys that I've had my heat press for years, but I had probably only used it like maybe once or twice because I just used my little iron because I wasn't doing anything in bulk. But I did something yesterday, and I put my heat press up to 400, and it shut the power socket off. So I'm not doing 400 again. I normally get away, I guess it got too hot for the 400. So this old baby, it's Promo Heat. It's where I ordered it from years ago. And I mean, it does everything fine, but I had never taken it up to 400. And I won't be taking it up to 400 again. Okay, because I ain't trying to burn my house down for no pair of earrings or t-shirt or nope. Ain't that serious, baby. All right, so now I have removed that plastic coating off of both pair of earrings, or off of my pair of earrings. And it's always good to kind of keep your plastic where you can see it, just in case you forget. So you're going to need, in order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and cut my heat press on so it can be warming up. But you're going to need some heat tape. And this heat tape is to hold your image in place so that it doesn't shift. And you're also going to need like butcher paper, just plain paper to put down on top of this to protect your image as well as your heat press from the process during the process. So I'm going to go ahead and get some heat tape going here. And you do not want the heat tape laying directly on top of the image that you're sublimating. And that's because if you do, those marks from the tape, they're going to show up in your project. Okay. So I want to put that out there because I learned the hard way. Okay. This is a clear indication that I need to put my glasses on in the morning. Because me and this heat tape are not getting along. So I'm just going to cut that little piece off. And like I showed you guys previously in this video. If you have any questions about Microsoft PowerPoint and how to design in Microsoft PowerPoint, just let me know. I'm not going to invest in anything that's when I already have software here that I can actually use. And you know, Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Word, they're very underrated when it comes to designing, because the first time we hear somebody say, oh, I use Photoshop, or I use, you know, we go out and we start investing in that stuff and Canva and all that. And baby, let me tell you something, I can do the same thing that you can do in Microsoft PowerPoint. And trust me when I tell you, I've created an entire grocery store in Microsoft PowerPoint using shapes, because that's everything is shapes. That's all it is. All right, so that's heating up. And one day I'll show you guys the grocery store that I created in Microsoft PowerPoint. And my employer that I was working for at the time went crazy. They absolutely loved it. And I had to do it in PowerPoint because the client did not want us to use their images. So I took an image of the inside of their grocery store and just recreated it in PowerPoint. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm placing the heat tape on the back of the earring, which is my blank, and I'm barely, I got barely a little bit of a tip of it onto the front of the image, but that part is not going to sub on my earring, so I don't have to worry about that. That's why I said you want to make the earring a little bit bigger than the blank, and that way you don't have to lay your heat tape directly on top, because like I said, wherever that heat tape is laying, if it's laying on the part that's going to sublimate onto your blank, it's going to be in your finished product. So I just put that out there so you guys will know. Don't do what I did the first time, because I was wondering where that little shadow was coming from, and that's where it was coming from. So I'm just going to go through the first, I'm just going to do the sublimation on the front with you guys. I'm not going to do the back with you all, because that'll give you the process, okay? So that's one earring with the transfer on there. And I'm going to go ahead and do the next one. And I'm just making sure that I have all of my image inside of the earring. I don't want any not inside the earring. And I like having my transfer tape ready to go, because then it's easy just to put it on there. So again, I want to make sure that I am not putting the heat tape on the part that's going to sub. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to get one more piece of tape here. And again, the heat tape is to keep the image in place so that when you put your heat press down, if the image moves, it doesn't shift and cause what we call ghosting, kind of like a mirror effect, like it has a shadow. You don't want that to happen. So just making sure I got everything on here, and I think that's going to be close enough. And my heat press is slow this morning, so again, I'm going to lay them on the heat press with the transfer side up. Okay, transfer side up, which is the paper side up, and I'm going to place a piece of silicone sheet on top to help with the process here. So let me grab my silicone sheet. Give me 1 second. All right, got the silicone sheet, and my heat press is almost at 300. I should have started my heat press while I was designing. um, I'm going to place this on medium pressure, and this is the silicone sheet. I just used the sheet that came with my fabric transfer. This is the sheet that came in there. I also have a Teflon sheet, so you know, whatever works for you. You can use butcher paper, but you want to put something between your heat press and your blanks. Okay, so you don't want to just put your blanks on and then put the heat press down. You need something to cover it. And yeah, so I'm going to set the time here at 374 for 70 seconds. There we go. And okay. And that way, once it gets to 374, it's going to start beeping. So here's the paper. I try to keep it handy. This is the paper that I use, which is A-Sub 125G, 8.5 by 11. I ordered this off of Amazon, and I think it was around $19, like $18 and some change. And it comes with 110 sheets. Very easy to understand which side to print on because it has A-Sub on one side, and then the other side is just blank. What else can I tell you? The printer that I use is an Epson Workforce 7720. I changed it over from an inkjet printer to a sublimation printer. I use Ink X Pro. That's the type of ink that I use. I have a video in the group if you want to see how to change over your Epson Workforce 7720 to a sublimation printer. Then I have a video on my channel to show you how to do that. And what else? You guys saw that I just took a picture of the earring blank, uploaded into Microsoft PowerPoint, played around with the shaping so I could get as close to this shape as possible. And I inserted my image that I wanted directly into that shape. Okay. So it's going to start beeping here in just a second because it's almost at 374. I'm going to have to stand up. All right, so we're going to get everything ready. I'm going to go ahead and place my earring blanks down, silicone sheets on top, silicone sheet on top, and I'm going to hit OK. And there we go. All right. So just so you guys can see here, there we go. So I have to finish the setup for my craft area. So it's just a process, guys, but I'm almost there. I have my table set up in there. I got pictures all up of my craft work. But it's going to require me to take down my shelving and move it over some. And that's the part that I'm not happy about, but I'm going to do it. And that way I can have everything in one area. And that way I don't have it all over my house like I do now. So when I was talking to you earlier, I was in my bedroom by my printers. And now I'm in my dining room where my heat press is. So, all right, our time is up. Pick up our heat press here. And yeah, so we're going to see how this turned out. Now, you guys do be careful because this is super hot, okay? So you want to be super careful with it. And I'm going to use my weeder here to pull this tape off for me. Oh yeah, turned out really pretty. I could have come down just a little bit more, but here it is. See, the colors are so vibrant. Okay, so that's one. And let's see what the other looks like here. So I'm going to go ahead and sublimate the other side as well. Well, at least it evened. Let's get that tape off. There we go. So you guys can see the colors are very, very, very vibrant. And I'm going to hold up the printed image here. So this is the image before sublimation, and this is the image after sublimation. So you guys can see the difference. So once you put the sublimation ink and the heat press onto it, it brings the colors to life. So that's why people love, love, love sublimation. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to go ahead and sub the back side. So these blanks are double-sided. I'm going to go ahead and do the same process on the other side. And you don't have to worry about, some people may say, why didn't you put the hole in there? You don't have to worry about that because it's not going to, if there's a hole in there, it's going to go right over that hole so you can see through it. So all I have to do is put my earring together. And I'm just going to show you right quick the metal piece that I was talking about. This is why I love these blanks. I love these blanks because they come with the, you guys see I have long nails. I don't do well with little jewelry pieces, and that's why I never took up putting jewelry together. But these come with everything already together. All I have to do is, you see this little piece right here? Let it stop shaking. All I have to do is separate this little part, and I just take my scissors and insert them inside and then open my scissors, and it opens up that area for me. And then I just take my earring, stick it in there, and push that piece back together. So very, very easy. So again, Yin Fang is the seller of these blanks, 6 pair of earrings with the hardware already put together like that for $13.99. I think it was $13.99, but I'll put it in the description for you guys. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sublimate on the other side to complete this pair of earrings. And that's it. All right. So guys, if you are currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you guys so much for being subscribed. And if you're not and you like my tutorials, I have lots of tutorials to teach you how to do many things, including your nails. But please like, share, and subscribe. Share, share, share. Please tell people about my YouTube channel. And I also have a Facebook group, which is called Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. So you can send me a request to my Facebook group, not to my Facebook page, okay? But to my Facebook group, Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. And for those that were shared, this video was shared to you via Facebook. My YouTube channel is candoris48@gmail.com. That's how you can find me. All right. All right, guys. And my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day. Bye.